So in the second unit in BRM, which was they're talking about the formulation and planning of research. Formulation, which is formulating of objectives, formulating of questions based on the problems. That is what we are going to be discuss, and even more clearly, which we are going to be discuss in the second unit, like this: the contents which was mentioned in the second unit, selection of research problem. As a researcher, before starting any research work, then how we are going to be select, is there any process, how to identify your research problem. Then second, literature review, right? What is the importance of literature review? What is this literature review? Then we'll discuss all these things. Then after that, how to setting of objectives, right? Then based on research problem and research questions, which we are going to be set different types of objectives. And once if you have an objectives, then we are going to be frame hypothesis, right? Hypothesis, which is just a statement or assumption, right? So which you are assuming. Then once if you state the hypothesis, then measurement of variables. Okay, so what are those variables or measurement scales? We'll discuss all those things. As of now, even I said so many times in the previous classes, right? We have different types of measurement scales, right? Nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So we'll discuss all those. What is nominal, what is ordinal, what is interval, and what is ratio. Most important one. So see, those who are understanding this subject in the third semester, you are already in the third semester. Now these subjects which you are talking about in second semester, right? So maybe after 2 months you will start doing your project work. So if you understand this subject thoroughly, then you may not face any problem when you are doing project work. So please listen carefully and understand each and every word, is also each and every concept which was included in the BRM, which will be added advantage to you when you are doing project work. You may not get any problem if you understand now. Suppose if you did not understand, then again you have to read same thing. What is this research methodology? What is this review of literature? What is objective? How to frame objective? What is research problem? How to frame, how to identify research problem? Then if you identify research problem, then how you are going to be make research questions based on that. Then how you are going to be frame based on research questions objectives. Then after that, how to frame hypothesis, right? How many hypotheses we have, right? And even how to prepare a questionnaire. So all these points is most important one you are doing in the project work. So this subject is most important one, right? So we'll discuss after that research plan, right? You should have that research plan, how to proceed, right? And conducting the research. So how you are going to be conduct your research work. So all these concepts included in the second unit, right? Selection of research problem, literature review, setting of objectives, formulation of hypothesis, measurement of variables, research plan, conducting the research. So we'll discuss today up to selection of research problem and review of literature. Even if time permits to me, then we'll go ahead with the remaining concepts. Okay, is it clear? Now let me ask you a question, right? I think hope everyone is watching this slide, right? Any one of you can please read.
How to formulate research problem.
Yeah. Now, so let me ask same question to you. How to formulate research problem? Any guess? Any guess? How many of you, those who attend my session, how many of you marketing guys and how many of you finance guys, can you please tell me?
Sir, I am from finance, sir.
Okay, I will ask name. Ramana?
Yes, sir.
Ramana,
Finance, sir.
finance. Okay, Nikita?
Finance, sir.
Jansi? Jansi? Any one of you? Tell me.
She's also finance, sir.
Okay. Kavya?
HR, sir.
Okay, HR. Okay, fine, good. Himaja?
Finance, sir.
Okay. Vani?
Finance, sir.
Amala?
Finance, sir.
Harika?
HR, sir.
Okay, Soumya,
HR, sir.
Akhil.
Finance, sir.
Okay, Shravani. Shravani. Okay, so since most of you guys belongs to finance and even HR, right? So let me take one example. Okay, one is finance and one is HR. Okay, clear? So see, let me take finance example like this. I think everyone knows about this. Okay, did you heard about this particular thing in the newspaper? Which is Mahindra and Mahindra want to come. They gave this advertisements in the newspaper and even TVs also. Mahindra and Mahindra want to sell their cars, right? If anyone want to take cars from this Mahindra, right? So you may directly go to Mahindra and you may pay some initial payment, right? Initial payment. Then
Down payment, sir.
yeah, initial payment or initial down payment, right? Then you may take your car, right? So obviously if it is a normal condition, next month onwards you need to pay EMI, right?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? But
Yes, sir.
Mahindra is said don't pay EMI now onwards, you can pay next year onwards. Okay, now why they gave this offer? If they give this one, will they get profit or loss? I think how many of you are following my statement? I got one problem, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is how you are going to be formulate your research problem. HR. Let me give an example. HR. Right? See, you joined as a HR executive in one particular company, but whereas most of the employees are leaving that organization. They joined and they left within 2 months or 3 months. Now as a HR, you should control that. I think indirectly I'm talking about you got one problem. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now what is the reason behind that? I think HR guys, hope you heard about this, right? Employee turnover ratio, is it should be high or low?
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
Employee turnover ratio,
Low unal, sir.
it's low,
Low.
not high.
No, sir.
Low unal, sir.
Situation you are saying is very much high, I'm saying.
Okay, so see, employee should not go out. That means the turnover ratio, right, should be very less. Okay, so suppose employee is joining and due to some other reasons, or maybe company is not giving good offers, or maybe they're pressurizing, or maybe some other reasons they're leaving. So you should find out that how to give a solution as a HR. So you find one problem. Hope you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Hope you got now. Even the same thing you are doing when you are doing project work. So don't say about that my friend is doing on share market, let me do share market. My friend is doing on employee turnover ratio, let me do on employee turnover ratio, right? Or maybe most of the projects will go like this, right? Which is maybe a mutual funds, or maybe a share market, finance guys, marketing guys, which is consumer attitude, or maybe which is maybe a customer loyalty, right? Regular, which I'm watching past 12 to 13 years onwards, project works, right? And even if it is a HR, right? Recruitment, selection. So it's all general projects, right? So read newspaper, observe society, observe advertisements, then you will get your problem. Then take that problem and work out and give a solution. That is become your project. Now simple, let me tell you one thing, even I give many times to you, right? Now most of you guys, before buying any product through online, you will check, right? What you are going to be check?
Website page from which we are going to buy.
Yes,
Shop.
right? So you will check maybe Amazon, and even you will check in the Snapdeal, and even you are going to be checking in any maybe Alibaba or maybe some other. Now, even suppose you want to buy maybe a laptop. Now, because of Dasara, so many deals is going on, right? Now you will check reviews and ratings in this Snapdeal and even Amazon and even Alibaba and even any other e-commerce site, right? Now, your problem is become like this. If it is a marketing guy, how many of the customers are checking reviews and ratings? Is it good or bad? Right? So try to create your own interest and find one problem and work out in a project that may become a project. Now I'm not comparing with the students. My students in SNIST, right? In the 2016, we have a limited strength which is 60, right? Only one batch. We don't have 120 or 180 like that. 60 out of 60 marketing students in that year, which is 14 to 16 batch, I'm talking about, right? 12 students in a marketing elective. Out of 12 students, one student is a girl student. Only one. 11 boys and one is a girl. Her name is Hemasri Radha, right? Now Hemasri Radha is under my guidance, and she came to me and she asked one question. Sir, shall I take this problem? Shall I take this problem? Shall I do this? Then I said, no. Try to create your own interest and find one particular problem, then work out on that. No need to hurry. I will give 10 days time. Go and find out and come. Then after 10-15 days, she came and she said, sir, now...
Course structure separately, sir, 4 pages, and it is in the syllabus also.
Subramaniam, sir.
Tell me. Is it urgent? I sometimes back a store, sir. By what time you want? I can send to you. Sure. I'm sending. I do understand. I'm sending the modern.
Okay, right? So after 15 days, she came with a one excellent problem, which she said about that, sir, right now, school going children are eating junk food. Because of that, they're getting some obeses. So how to give a problem, how to give a solution for this? Yes, good. This is your problem. Go ahead, work out on that. Then she went and she collected the data, and finally she come up with a good information. You won't believe, right? We completed that project as per the academics, and she submitted, and she developed her interest in that, how to give some healthy snacks to the students, which is school going children's. Okay. Then she kept one name for her company, a startup company, which is called Migo. You can check migoindia.com, right? And see, after 2 years, she called me and she said, sir, I started this particular company, which is called Migo, which is completely is going to be provide millet snacks to the school going children's. Now she became entrepreneur. Your project has to be turned into your company. So this is one example which I'm giving, right? Now even you can check. So even KTR, right, liked her proposal and even this millet snacks, and he called her to his cabin, right? And the group of people went over there and they gave this presentation in front of the KTR, and even KTR is also appreciated, and she got so many awards. If you check the website migoindia.com, then you will find. And even I'm writing case on that. We are working on that. Okay, are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So see, a project has life. Don't think about that. Just cut, copy, paste. You anyhow, juniors obviously have rapport with the seniors, and seniors also have rapport with juniors, and junior may call to senior, right? అన్నా ప్రాజెక్ట్ అంటున్నారు అన్న కాలేజీలో ఏం చేద్దాం, అరే ఎందుకురా కష్టపడతావు, నా దగ్గర ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంది, రైట్, నా సీనియర్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంది, కట్ కాపీ పేస్ట్, అంతేనా? ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ సమ్ ఏ యూ విల్ రిమూవ్ ది నేమ్ అండ్ బి, or else even your senior may say about that, no, I don't have a project with me, then I will give a guidance. So you may buy this project outside, pay, and you will get 2000 rupees, change name and keep your name. No, don't do that. If you do that, then you are killing your life. That's it. Okay, so see, try to identify your aim, where you want to do. Then that project has to become your startup company. Now she is working even in the Hyderabad, it may available, right? Because it's a healthy snack, millets related oriented one, right? And hope maybe next 1 year or 2 years you are going to be get these products in the any malls. So we are working on that. Even I am also part in that to give guidance to her. We're working. And last year she came to college and she recruited more than 4 students in her company because I'm the placement coordinator. Right? Hope you understand how to formulate research problem. Do you want any information related to this? I think I gave basic information to you. What we are going to be talk about, how to formulate research problem. Any questions, please ask me now itself. Right? Respond. So next, any one of you read this? Any one of you read?
It is hard to formulate a good answer to a bad question. A question well asked is a question well answered.
Okay, who is this?
Vani, sir.
Vani. So what did you understand?
Like a question.
It is hard to formulate a good answer to a bad question. If it is a bad question, it's highly difficult to you to give a good answer for that bad question, right? If your problem is bad, or if your research work itself is not good, then it's highly difficult to give suitable answers to that bad problem or bad project work. That is what my intention here to show this particular slide. A question well asked is a question well answered. Yes or no? Right? So if your project, or if you chosen one particular project which is not suitable to you, then it's highly difficult to you to give appropriate answers to that problematic related project. So it is better always a question well asked is a question well answered. So if you frame your project in a good manner, or you identified your problem accurately which is suitable to you, and you thoroughly understand that particular problem and even everything, then it is easy to you to give suitable answers for that particular problem. Okay, so I gave enough information to you which is related to what is research problem, what we are going to be do, right? Clear? Now, what is a research problem? A research problem is a question. A research problem is a question that a researcher wants to answer, or a problem that a researcher wants to solve. What is a research problem? What is a research problem? Anyone of you?
It is a question.
Researcher wants to answer.
It is a question researcher wants to answer, right? You got one particular question and you want to give an answers for that particular question, which is why even I framed in the previous slide, even which is why even I shown that particular slide to you, right? So if your problem is good, then you can give a good or suitable answers for that particular problem. But whereas if your problem is not good and if it is not accurate, then you are trying to give suitable answers for that, maybe it is not going to be match. So most of the researchers or maybe students blindly they will do. Even as far as my concern, no student is doing live projects. Are you doing projects, going to the industry and finding one problem and working on that? No. Is there anyone doing? No college student is doing this one. But as a faculty, we are trying to motivate them to find out one particular problem. Now see, even if it is a marketing guy, right? So how to identify a problem? If you will go to the Inarbit Mall, or maybe you will go to the Spencer's, or maybe a D-Mart, or maybe a Metro, or maybe any shopping mall. When you are visiting, you will enjoy the shopping, right? So marketing guys may find n number of problems over there. Different types of customers may enter. One person may like one type of product. Why he like? Why he's giving an importance to that particular one, right? And even see, Metro may be facing some problems, or maybe a D-Mart is facing some problems, or maybe a Spencer's is also facing some problems, right? So rather than keeping products in the front, if I keep back, then what happened to the movement of that particular product? So they are facing that particular problem. So you have to give solution for that one. So if you work like that, then only it will be called as a project. No. As per the academics, it was a project. That's it. And I will call to my senior, and senior also says about that. Nothing to worry about that. It's only cut, copy, paste. Google it. You will get. And maybe one friend says about that. My project is my project is recruitment, and my project is selection. Recruitment and selection is a subject. Is not your topic. Most of the guys or most of the students, even when I was taking Viva, final Viva to the students, they says their project like this: a study on recruitment and selection. What is this recruitment and selection? Recruitment and selection is subject, right? So again, you have to mention in the recruitment what type of method they are following, and if that method is giving a optimal results to them or not. That is become your project. Or selection, how you are selecting a candidate or maybe a person, right? Based on the skills, or based on the performance, or based on the any other related things which you are expecting from them. So you have to work on that. That may become a project, right? So a research problem is a question that a researcher wants to answer, or a problem that a researcher wants to solve. Okay, a research problem is a question that a researcher wants to answer, or a problem that a researcher wants to solve. Hope you understand. Shall we go ahead with the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Now, so how you are going to be defining a research problem? Okay, so I'm showing you here one particular slide. Okay, see, now see, select a broad problem which you have an interest. Now let us take an example. Even I say to you, recruitment and selection, that is a broad area. Then in that again you have to dig. Okay, is the problem shared by real people? Which is again I'm dividing that. Okay, you got overall one particular broad area. Out of that broad area, then again you are digging into to get your exact problem. That is your project. Don't say my project is on consumer behavior, my project is on customer loyalty, my project is on recruitment and selection, my project is on mutual funds, my project is on share market, and my project is on share values. No. What exactly that company is facing problem, that is your project. Most of the students says about that, sir, I did my project on ICICI Bank, which is mutual funds, or maybe a Mahindra and Mahindra, or maybe SBI, or maybe some other HDFC like that. Then simply I may ask a question. If I am the external evaluator of the project Vivavos, in the Vivavos I will ask one question. How do you selected this particular company? Is it based on profit? Is it based on market performance? Is it based on share value? Is it based on mutual fund performance? On what basis? You have chosen that. No answer. No, sir. Just randomly I took, because I know ICICI Bank, I know HDFC, I know Mahindra and Mahindra, or I know SBI Bank, because when I was passing on the roads, then I saw all these banks, right? Or maybe IndusInd, which is why I took. No, not like that. Okay, select a broad problem area of interest, and based on that, then again, right? So you have to read that problem and reformulate your problem, which is a specific oriented one, right? Is the problem shared by real people, which is an ethical way, and read from general to specific? Then you are doing this circular way, right? Is the problem shared by real people, right? Is it exactly? Then read it from general to specific, then reformulate specificity and clarity to get a clarity on that broad area. So you should identify any one particular problem which is specifically you want to work on that. Then finally you are going to be write out a final working problem. This is your problem. Now let us take an example. Spencer, somewhere in Hyderabad, right? I think, hope maybe you visited, right? Most of you guys. Okay. So Spencers are not getting customers. What is the reason behind that? This is your project work. Company share value fall down. For the finance people, company share value was fall down, is continuously falling down, and the performance is not good. Then as a MBA guy or maybe finance elective guy, then you should be in a position to give an answer for that particular question. That is your project. What is here a problem based on the finance students? Can you please tell me? I repeated, right? So one particular company is facing a problem, their performance or share value is falling down, and even their performance is not good. Rather than getting profit, they are getting loss. Right? So how you are going to give a solution for that? Finance students? Any one of you? So even though if it is a bad answer, no problem. I can make it a good answer.
Increase the factory outlets, sir.
Increase the factory outlets. No. Based on the finance related oriented one. Share value is falling down. Our performance is not good. They're not getting profit. They're getting losses. So to give a, what is your answer? How you are going to solve this particular problem if you are a finance manager in that particular company?
Decrease the share value, sir.
You will blindly decrease the share value. So I think, hope maybe you studied PESTEL, right? Political, economical, socio, technological, cultural, legal. Yes or no? PESTEL analysis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank God. One student said yes. Okay, you gave big pause. So I thought maybe you did not come across this. So see, you studied right already in the first semester or second semester, pestle analysis, political, economical, socio, technological, legal, cultural related. All these are the external factors and even internal factors also. I hope maybe you know very well about that. If something was happened in US, then indirectly it may had effect on share market, Indian share market, right? Which is called external. Now internal, maybe board of directors was changed or maybe CEO was changed, then immediately what happened? Maybe it has an effect, or maybe an internal problem. So you have to work out on that. One student from SNIST, right? He did internship in L&T and he got an offer to do internship more than 45 days at Mumbai, right? Then based on his performance, and they extended that internship, which is a paid internship. So you should get that. You should work out like that. Nobody will help. So don't think about that. Faculty may help. Faculty may help you in a one direction. But ultimately to getting that internship and working on that and to get job is depends upon you. So it depends upon your performance itself, how well you are working. That student completed internship and that student completed project in that, and that student got opportunity in that company itself. That is how you are going to be grow. So your plan should be like that. If you get one internship, so that internship has to be turned into your project. So what you are doing in the project, you are identify one problem in that internship and you want to give solutions for that. Then if you are really working on that, maybe a company likes you and they may give you an offer. So you should go in that way. Okay, hope you understand. So once if you redefine your problem, then finally you are standing into one working problem. So this is how you are going to be do and identifying your research problem. Okay, the same thing which I'm listing into the step by step, right? Steps in identifying a research problem. How you are going to be identified. Okay, outline area of interest. So you have a broad area, right? Out of that, which you are choosing a topic. Now let me tell you, HRM is a subject. In the HRM, right, recruitment and selection is a one topic, right? Yes or no? HRM is a subject. In the
Yes,
HRM, recruitment and selection is a one topic, right? Now, this is you chosen. My topic is recruitment. Okay. Now again, you have to narrow that. In the recruitment, what type of method they are following? Is it offline method or online method? Which method is the best one to that particular company to reduce a minimal or to reduce cost or without wasting resources, right? So you have chosen one particular thing which is they're following offline and online, right? So you have chosen these two, then you are comparing that which one is the best one. Suppose if they go ahead with the offline, will they get benefit? Or if they go ahead with the online, will they get benefit? Or rather than completely giving this particular task to third party, which is consultancies, which one is the best one, right? So you are working on identifying a research problem. So now your problem itself is not HR. It is again you divided into selection. In this selection, you made it, which is what type of method is the most important one to the company, and you identified and you worked on that, right? Then you wrote your research questions and you wrote your objectives and you wrote based on that hypothesis, and you prepared questionnaire and you adopted suitable techniques, and based on that you will get output. Then you will write findings, suggestions, conclusions, and future or further scope for the research. That's it. Okay, hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Right? So see, by doing this, so read about your interest. So you should have an interest. Now my interest, which is online related oriented one. So my thesis is related to which is apparels. Okay. So did you understand what do you mean by apparels? Clothes, right? So how many customers are interested to buy through online and even at the same time offline also, right? Clothes, few people right now, most of the youngsters, right, they are buying through online. But suppose if it is any function, will you prefer to buy through online or you directly go?
Directly.
Will directly go because it's a special occasion, right? Maybe a marriage or maybe any other special occasion which you have in your home, then definitely family members will go together and will sit and will observe different types of patterns and will buy. Why you are not giving preference through online? So if it is any casual or maybe any one time or maybe festival, if you like any one particular product, then you will buy. And even how many times you returned that product. When you are watching through Amazon or maybe Snapdeal or maybe Flipkart, it look like maybe attractive. Once if you receive, then
The quality may not be that good.
yes, the quality may not be good, or maybe color is not matching with that particular one. That image, right, which you watched through that portal is different. Once if you received, and then normal lighting or maybe color is not matching, quality is not matching, then again, how many times you return back? Right? So I did thesis on that, and even you won't believe, right? One of my friend who is doing PhD from WIT, Vellore Institute of Technology, as a regular, and his topic is simple and easiest one, and even a typical. I think hope maybe you know very well about that Bata, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Once if you go to Bata showroom, right? Hope maybe you heard about the pricing strategy, which is 99, 299, 399, 499, 599, 699. It's odd pricing as per the marketing students. Odd pricing strategy or maybe even pricing strategy. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, once suppose, let us take an example. You bought one shoe from Bata, which is 2,999. You paid 3,000, right? If the person did not give you 1 rupee, will you ask?
No, sir.
No one will ask. Very few people will ask. Sorry, boss. 1 NP is also most important to me. Please give me because it's hard-earned money. Then he will give. Of course, they will give, but most of the times they hesitate to give. They will give you a bill. That's it, and will wait. Suppose let us see if that person will give 1 rupee or not. If he is not giving, and simply will not ask and will go out. This guy is doing thesis on this. If 1 rupee is paid to the people or not paid to people, then what is the reason behind that, right? Will they get benefit or customers get benefit, and how many customers are asking? Why they are not asking? Because this is 1 rupee. You will hesitate to ask. You have a right to ask. Yes, sorry boss, please give 1 rupee. But our brain says about that, it's 1 rupee, right? Leave it. He's working on that. So it looked like simple. Your project identification is simple. When you observe society, you will get your project. Right? Now let me tell you even one more problem. I gave so many examples, right? And let me give the example, and after that we'll close. Getting some disturbance from other side. So I think hope maybe everyone knows about this, right? When you are cooking in the kitchen, right? So obviously maybe mother or maybe father or those who are going to the kitchen, they know very well about that, right? So mother may wrote or maybe father may wrote when it was started. Maybe let us take an example, which is October 1st, cylinder was started. Then based on the family members, then we have one calculation based on the cooking, right? Morning, afternoon and evening, and meanwhile maybe relatives or maybe like that. So we presume that that cylinder may close, right, may become empty after 2 months, September, October, right? October, it was started October 1st, and November, December 1st or December 31st. Okay. Now, is there any measurement to check, like in the vehicle, right? If you pour petrol, you will observe the needle, right? Is it a full or maybe a half or maybe empty? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Then why won't we come up one measurement in the cylinder itself, which will be reflected to us to check whether what is the position of that gas inside? This is your problem. Hope you understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, no need to read, even if you read books, you will understand. Even if you read articles, you will understand, right? So just I gave so many examples to you how you are going to be identify a problem. How to identify a research problem. So if you start identifying research problem like this, then definitely your project will be highlighted. Now see, if you find that indication outside, who will implement that? All gas producers will like that particular one, and you have a patent, right? Suppose, then you have to, they may approach to you, then how much money will get? Your project is giving life to you. This is what required right now. Don't think your project is a piece of paper. Of course, I know very well about that. Your seniors may say it, or maybe some of the good students may say it, project is the most important one, and some of the students may say about that it's a piece of paper itself. But for me, in the MBA, if your project has to be give life to you. So if you work in that way, then indirectly you are going to get life. So no need to work under anyone. You become an entrepreneur. So this is what required right now. What else you want? I think, hope maybe you read so many stories, right? Redbirds started like that itself. Because IIT guys want to move from Bangalore to their native place at the time of Dasara or Diwali or Sankranti or Christmas or maybe Ramjan. They did not find vehicle, and they got one idea and they come up with the red bus. A problem maybe you are going to be get, and you may get once if you observe your environment. So you should ask questions. So you should develop like this. Okay, clear? Now let me take few minutes. After that we'll close this session, right? A good research question, how it should be, right? It requires a judgment to be made, right? So if you identified one good problem, then based on that particular problem, which you are going to be create a questions, and that question definitely will give an answer to you, right? So as of now, even I gave an example which is a cylinder related oriented one, because right now everyone is facing the same problem. How you are going to be measure? Maybe a brother or maybe a sister or maybe a father or mother, then will take up that particular cylinder and we'll weigh, and then we'll say about that with the hand itself, not with the weighing machine. Then we'll say, okay, maybe it is going to become more 10 days or 15 days, like that. There is no accurate measurement to know. Then how to find out? Little bit scientific related research work is required for that, without any disturbance. So you have to work. Then definitely your college is also get name, and you also get name, and even you will get patents, and that will give a life to you. Everyone will praise. This is what required. This is called project, not cut copy paste work, boss. Sorry. Then second one, allows for debate between different perspectives. So your good research question always will, suppose if you want to come up with the same thing, then people may ask, then is it possible? Because it is inside something, is most dangerous. Then how you are going to be solve this one? Then you should able to give an answer, because it's a good questions, because you are coming with a good problem. Then obviously you are going to be get good questions. As of now, even I say to you, right, I shown one particular one, right? If your problem is bad, then you may not give a good answer for that. Okay, so allows for the answer to be in the middle ground or to synthesize different perspectives. So you are going to be get n number of questions, n number of doubts, right? And you are in a position to give answers all those questions, right? And even a simple one idea rather than many. So you should not have n number of ideas. You should have only one idea. Then work out on that. So rather than keeping n number of ideas in your brain, focus on that. Okay. So can be answered with the resources available to the learner in the word limit allowed. Right. So a good research question is also, if you are in a position, then obviously what happened, maybe you are going to be read so many articles and resources which is available, and based on that you are in a position to give answers for such type of problems and really interests the learner. Now if you are talking about that, then everyone will ask. How many of you remember, even when we were at intermediate stage, then we heard about this statement, one guy who is from Chennai, and he created petrol from the leaves. It was a big issue at that time. Every news channel, every newspaper is talking about that. Then we thought we got an alternative. After that, what happened, we don't know, because it's of corporate politics. Okay, so hope you understand what is research question or what is research problem. Yes or no? Do you have any question? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so I will stop here itself and we'll go ahead with the QOBD concept now. Okay, so still a few more slides left over in the research questions. Okay, so in the next class we'll discuss. So I gave a clear-cut ideas to you how we are going to be identify the research problem and how we are framing such type of research problems, converting problem into your questions. So we'll discuss that in the next class, and based on that we are going to be write the objectives. Once if you know your problem and once if you know how to write your questions, then it's easy to come up with an objective. That's it. So what is your objective based on the cylinder? So you want to find out solution for that. That is your objective, right? Without get affected by the inside liquid and even the outside material which you are using. So based on that you are going to be write different types of objectives, and based on that again you are going to be frame hypothesis statements. Then it follows next. and you will apply statistical tools and you will get the results and you will write findings, suggestion, conclusions. Then you will close the project. That's it. Okay. If you have any questions, please ask me. I will give you 2 minutes time. So exactly 11:10. Sorry, now 11:05 in my mobile. So I will give 2 minutes time. So exactly 11:07 we'll start QABD session. If you have any questions, please ask me. Do you have any questions? Yes or no? If no, we'll go ahead.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, right, good. So let me stop sharing. Then we'll go ahead with the QABD session, right? Okay. So do you have any questions as of now in QABD? Tell me. Because I'm going to start third unit now. That is called assignment problems. If you have any questions, please ask me now. Any questions? See, one more. As of now, Yadav is not there. Now Yadav want to enter. Someone gave information, Sunil has started QABD. So I am presuming that. Is it so? Huh? Fine. So see, one more important concept. It was listed in your QABD subject, that is in third unit, assignment problems. Okay. So let me make some arrangements here to look board. Is it visible? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, good. So see, as of now, we discussed in the first unit theoretical information, right? So what is war, and even what is model, and even different applications of war, right? And even shortcomingness and opportunities of war we discussed, right? In the second unit, which we discussed about linear programming problems, right? So in the linear programming problems, so initially we did given theoretical information converting into mathematical form of LPP, right? So then after that we solved maximization problems based on graphical method, and after that we solved based on based on graphical method we solved even minimization also. Then after that we solved simplex method, right? Then after that, which we solved primal to dual, how it is going to be changed from primal to dual form. Okay. Then we started transportation problems. Okay. So in the transportation problems, which we did first initial basic feasible solutions. In the under initial basic feasible solutions, we have 3 methods, right? One is northwest corner method, one is least cost method, and one is Vogel's approximation method. Then after that, then we did one method which we have optimality. To find out optimality, we have Modi method, and we solved even Modi method problems also. And if when you are solving optimality in transportation problems, right? If the condition is m plus n minus 1 condition, then it is called non-degeneracy. Suppose if you find any degeneracy condition, right? So when we are going to be say degeneracy condition, less than m plus n minus 1 condition is called degeneracy. Then how it is going to be solved? This is what we did as of now, right? Now third unit, which is called assignment problems. Assignment problems, right? Now please focus on this assignment. So what do you mean by assignment? So which are assigning some work to others as per this assignment problems. Now let us take an example. A is a person and M is a mission, right? So M1, M2 and M3, B and C. So in one particular company, 3 employees are working, right? And 3 missions available. Okay. Now A has certain skills, B has certain skills, and C has certain skills, right? And see, to operate M1, maybe A suitable, B suitable, maybe A suitable, or maybe B suitable, or maybe C suitable. It depends upon his skills. And at the same time, even M2 and M3 also. Okay. So you have to assign which one or which person is exactly without any problem or without wasting any resources, and he may get optimum results by using that. So you need to allocate that. So missions may be allocated, or maybe work has to be allocated to the person, right, which we are doing in the assignment problem. So you are assigning based on his skills and based on his educational qualifications, or maybe based on his performance, or based on his efficiencies to operate that particular mission. So which mission has to be assigned to which person. So in that we may minimize total cost. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now see, we have, as per your syllabus, right, assignment problems, which is minimization we have, right, maximization we have, and we have unbalanced problems, right? And after that, which we have traveling salesman problems. So all these are included in your syllabus. So first, initially we'll go ahead with the minimization. After that we'll go ahead with the maximization. After that we'll discuss with the unbalanced problems. Hope maybe you know very well about this unbalanced problem, right? So 3 rows and 3 columns. If it is not 3 rows and 4 columns, right? If they gave 3 rows and 4 columns, then you have to add one more fourth row to match 4 by 4. That is called dummy row or dummy column, right? The values will become 0. Same thing which we did in the transportation problem, right? So we'll make it unbalanced to balanced, then we'll work, and even we have some special conditions also, then we'll work on that. Then finally we'll go ahead with the traveling salesman problems. Okay, clear? Now let me explain to you procedure first, how to solve problems. Okay, now see, suppose if it is 3 rows and 3 columns, suppose if it is 3 rows and 3 columns, right? So this is M1 and this is M2 and this is M3, this is A and this is B and this is C. Okay, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Now any one of you can please tell me as cost which is going to be incurred that particular company if I assigned M1 to A or M1 to B or M1 to C. Any values, tell me. Less than 10 randomly.
4, 6, 10,
4, 6, 10,
8, 2, 1,
8, 2, 1,
7, 1, 3.
7, 1, 3. Okay. So who gave these numbers?
Soumya, sir.
Soumya. Yeah, Soumya gave these random numbers, which is 4, 6, 10, 8, 2, 1, 7, 1, 3. Okay. Now procedure here. So this is a problem they may give you, solve the problem. Okay. They may say about that M1 mission and A person, M2 mission, B person, like that narration. If they did not give narration, and they may give directly table and solve the assignment problem like that. Okay. So first procedure, initially you have to do row reduction. Row reduction. Row reduction. Okay. So what is this row reduction? Right. Now see, you are making table right. You are making table. I think this is not working. Why? Okay. So right, let me use the red. So you are, let me draw again, because black color is not clearly visible. Is it visible to you? Is it visible? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is row reduction. First, initially you are doing under assignment problems. So in the first row, which one is the minimum value? 4, 6, 10. Which one is the minimum? 4. So you have to subtract with that minimum value. So 4 minus 4 becomes 0. 6 minus 4, 2. 10 minus 4, it becomes 6. Okay. Now second row, 8, 2, 1. Which one is the minimum value?
1.
So 8 minus 1, 7. 2 minus 1, 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 7, 1, 3. Which one is the minimum value in third row?
1.
1. So 7 minus 1, 6. 1 minus 1, 0. 3 minus 1, 2. Any doubts?
No, sir.
If you have any doubts, please ask me.
No, sir.
So what we did in the assignment problem, initially first you have to do row reduction. So how to do row reduction? In the first row, minimum value, subtract with that value, right? So we got minimum value 4 in the first row. 4 minus 4, 0. 6 minus 4, 2. 10 minus 4, 6. Then second row, minimum value 1. So first value 8. 8 minus 1, 7. Second value 2. 2 minus 1, 1. And 1 minus 1, 0. Then third row, which is minimum value 1. So first value which we have here, 7. 7 minus 1, 6. 1 minus 1, 0. 3 minus 1, 2. Now next one, column reduction. Now before doing column reduction, you have to check, is there any 0 in the column? Right? In the first column we have a 0 because minimum, right? So there is no possibility again to do reduction, because we already find 1 0. If it is, there is no 0, then again other than 0, the minimum value you have to find out and subtract. But in the first column also we find 0, second column also we find 0, and the third column also we find 0. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Sir.
So suppose if it is any one column or any one row, sorry, column, because we are doing column reduction, any column you did not got 0, then you need to find out other than 0 the minimum value and subtract. That's it. Remaining value same. Okay. So we are taking randomly here, and even we are luckily we got zeros. So nothing we are going to be do. Simple. Next procedure. Each and every row and column should be have only one assigned 0. Remaining 0 should be cancelled. Any one of you please repeat the statement. Each and every row and column should be have only assigned 0. Remaining 0 should be cancelled. Right? Now see, randomly which I am assigning, if I assign this first one, then remaining are in that particular row or column, remaining 0 should be cancelled. This is the next basic information and a procedure. You should cross remaining zeros. only one assigned 0 should be there in the one row or one column. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Right? So see, first one is assigned. Now in the second row, M2, which is assigned, and third one, which is assigned. So luckily we got one assignments in the row and column. So check M1, only one assignment, M2, only one assignment, M3, only one assignment. Where we got assignment? M1A, M2C, M3B. So we are going to write M1A, M2C and M3B. So M1A, how much is that one? Which is 4. M2C, which is 1, right? M3B, right, which is 1. So 1. So total, which is 6. This is your answer. That means you may say about that M1 mission has to be allocated to A person, M2 mission has to be allocated to C person, and M3 mission has to be allocated to B person. So can that they will reduce the cost. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
If you have any
Yes,
questions,
sir.
please ask me. If you have any questions, please ask me. No?
No, sir.
Now suppose my question, you did not got any one row or column assigned zeros. You should get, if it is 3 by 3, then you should get 3 assignments. If it is 4 by 4, you should get 4 assignments. If it is 5 by 5, you should get 5 assignments. If it is 6 by 6, you should get 6 assignments. Suppose if 6 by 6, but you got only 5 assignments, then what is the procedure next? Okay.
Column subtraction.
Yes. So next procedure is different again, right? We'll go ahead with the step-by-step problems. Okay. So by working on the problems. Is it clear?
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Shall we go ahead with the one problem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me take one problem. Yeah. So let me read very fastly the problem, how it look like. A computer center has 3 experts programmers. The centers wants the 3 application programmers to be developed, right? The head of the computer center, after studying carefully the programmers to be developed, estimates computers time in minutes required by the experts for the application programs as follows, right? So they may, here they give, which is 3 by 3 problems, which is programs and programmers, which is assign the programmers to the programs in such a way that the total computer time is minimum. This is your problem, right? They gave problem like this, which is it was there in JK Sharma. So I'm taking here, which is 3 rows and 3 columns, right? So programs, first program, second program and third program, and programmers A, B, C. Okay, 120, 100, 80, 80, 90, 110, 110, 140, 120. Okay. Now, any one of you can please tell me first one, first step. What
Row
is it?
subtraction.
Row?
Subtraction.
Row reduction. Row reduction. Okay. In the first row, which one is the minimum?
80.
80 is the minimum. 120, 100, 80. 80 is a minimum. So 120 minus 80,
40,
100 minus 80,
20,
80 minus 80.
0,
So second row, which one is the minimum value?
80,
80,
80. So 80 minus 80,
0,
90 minus 80,
10,
110 minus 80.
30,
30,
Third row, which one is the minimum?
110,
110. Okay. 110 minus 110,
0,
140 minus 110,
30,
30,
120 minus 110,
10,
10,
10. Okay. Now check here, row reduction, first one, which is 40, 20, 0, 0, 10, 30, 0, 30, 10. Okay. Now you have to do column reduction. Column reduction. Right? Okay. So under column reduction, whereas first column we have 0, so we'll keep as it is 40, 0, 0. Now second column there is no 0. Which one is the minimum?
10,
10 is a minimum, right? So 20, 10, 30. So 20 minus 10, 10, 10 minus 10,
0,
0,
30 minus 10,
20,
20,
20. Now third column we have 0. So no need to subtract. We'll take as it is 0, 30, 10. Now assignments. Now we got here different zeros. So you have to check simultaneously before assigning zeros. Okay, with a rectangle. Now, right, so see, if I assign first row, which is first 0, then remaining 0 should be cancelled. Okay, so you have to check like that simultaneously. Okay, so if I assign this second row and third one below that, it is going to be cancelled, then we may not find any 0 over there. So which is why I'm not cancelling that particular one. If I assign this, this should be cancelled. If I assign this, there is no any other, and I may assign this. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
Right? So if you know this procedure, then it is easy to you. Listen carefully. Any one row or column should be have only one assigned 0. Now if you check here, first row and third column only one assigned 0. Second row and the second column only one assigned 0. Third row and first column is only one assigned 0. That means, which is A programmer, B programmer, C programmer, first program, second program, and third program, right? First program has to be assigned to the programmer C, second program assigned to be programmer B, third program should be assigned to programmer A. Now C, how much?
80,
80. How about B? 90. How about A? 110.
1,
How much? 200, 280. Right? So what they asked in the problem? Assign the programmers to the programs in such a way that the total computer time is minimum. So if they assign first program to programmer C, then computer time will become 80. Second program to programmer B, which is computer time which is 90, and the third program to programmer A, which is 110, then total time which is 280. That's it. So can that will minimize the computer time. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now let me take 5 by 5 table. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
So I'm taking one which is 5 by 5 table. Two, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now which is A job, B job, C, D and E, which is jobs, and employees first employee, second employee, third employee, fourth employee, and fifth employee. Employees. Okay, 10, 5, 13, 15, 16, 3, 9, 18, 13, 6, 10, 7, 2, 2, 2, 7, 11, 9, 7, 12, 7, 9, 10, 4, 12. Yes, shall we go ahead with this problem?
Yes, sir.
What is that first step?
Row reduction.
Row reduction. Okay, so I'm making here, which is 5 rows, right? So which one is the minimum value in the first row?
5.
5 is a minimum value. So 10 minus 5,
5.
5 minus 5,
0.
13 minus 5,
8.
15 minus 8, sorry, 15 minus 5,
10.
16 minus 5, 11. So in the B, which one is the least value?
3.
3, 9, 18, 13, 6. So which one is the least value?
3.
3. So 3 minus 3,
0.
9 minus 3,
6.
18 minus 3,
15.
10.
15, 13 minus 3,
10.
6 minus 3,
3.
3. Now third row, 10, 7, 2, 2, 2. So which one is the least value?
2.
2. So 10 minus 2,
8.
7 minus 2,
5.
2 minus 2.
0. 0. 0.
Exactly, good. Now third row, 7, 11, 9, 7, 12. Which one is the least value?
7.
7 minus 7,
0.
11
4,
minus 7. Okay. 9
2.
minus 7, 2.
0.
7 minus 7, 0. 12 minus 7, 5. Now last one, 7, 9, 10, 4, 12.
4.
4 is the least value. Now 7 minus 4,
3.
9 minus
5.
4, 10
6.
minus 4,
0.
minus 4, 0,
8.
8. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. See, if it is a minimum, a smallest values, then it is easy to you to calculate. And due to hurry, of course, I may agree that assignment problems is easy once if you know the procedure. But whereas it is better to check, because when you are doing again based on the row reduction, column reduction you are doing, right? So column reduction is depending upon row reduction. Fine. Suppose if you did any mistake in the here in the row reduction, then it may carry forward in the column reduction. Then again it may take time to you. So it is better to check one more time whether the values are the least value which you subtracted, everything is fine. Then if you can confident enough, then go ahead with the column reduction. Now my point is here, right? Is it necessary to go ahead with the column reduction again?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Because we got zeros in every column. First column also we got 2 zeros, second column also we got zeros, and third column also we got 0, fourth column is also got 0, and fifth column is also we got 0. Okay, now I'm making here once again five rows and 5 columns. Okay, so I'm allocating same thing here, column reduction, so no need to do. So I will take same as it is, which is 5, 0, 8, 10, 11, 0, 6, 15, 10, 3, 8, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 2, 0, 5, 3, 5, 6, 0, 8. Okay, clear? Now See, if I allocate this first one after 5, right, remaining 0 should be cancelled. Okay, so if I assign this should be cancelled, which is in the 4th row, right, and the remaining, even in the 4th row and 4th column, that 0 should be cancelled. Okay, so if I assign this should be cancelled, which is in the 4th row, last one, and in the 3rd row, 4th column, right? So if it is cancelled, then I have to allocate this in the last 3rd row, 5th column. So if I assign this, then I may cancel this. If I assign this, I may cancel this. But whereas if I'm doing this, then obviously what happened? We are not going to be get allocations in each and every row and column. Are you sure? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
So if you have any doubts, please ask me now itself. Is there anyone? If you have any doubts, please ask me. No? Now see, first row and the second column we got assignment. Second row and first column we got assignment. Third row and the 5th column we got assignment, right? And whereas we did not got assignment in the 4th row, but whereas we got in the 5th row. Okay, this is wrong. So we should get allocations each and every row. Now the procedure, right? So which is called Hungarian method, which is called Hungarian method. So what is this Hungarian method which explains us, right? So you should cross each assigned and unassigned zeros with the dotted lines. Follow my statements and listen carefully. So in the Hungarian method, right, because we did not got each and every row and column one assigned 0, one is empty, we did not got, right? So what we need to do in the next procedure, right, each and every assigned 0 and cancel 0 has to be crossed with the dotted lines, right? And the dotted lines will be minimum. Okay, are you following? Shall I repeat again? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir. Repeat it once again.
See, every row and every column we should get one assigned 0. Remaining 0 should be cancelled. But whereas in the previous problems we got one assigned 0 in the row and column, but here we did not got assigned zeros in one particular row. So there is a further procedure is there to get results. So what is that? Just called Hungarian method. So in that, the first procedure, right, so you should cross with the dotted lines assign 0 and cross zeros, right? The dotted lines has to be touched with assigned and crossed zeros, right? And the dotted lines should be minimum. Now suppose see 5, right? We got here 5 by 5, right? Now listen carefully. If I cross this particular first one, because we got one assigned 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will get 5 dotted lines. Then if I do like that, I'm not going to be get any one cell which is not covering with the empty cell. Okay, so that is wrong again. Now I will take column wise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if I'm doing like this, even entire assigned zeros and cancel zeros is also touching with the dotted lines, but whereas there is no leftover value here. So is there any possibility to draw the dotted lines which is covering assigned and cross zeros with the minimum lines? Is it possible to get 4 lines? Is it possible with us 3 lines? Is it possible with 2 lines? Is it possible with 1 line? So you have to check like that. Now first I have checked here. Is it possible with the 5 lines?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Possible, yes, but there is no further process because every value is going to be crossed. We are not going to be doing anything. So you have to check when you are doing assignment problem, right? So if you understand this procedure, then it is easy to you. This is most a critical lookalikes, but if you understand, it's easy. Okay, now listen. See, if I cross first row, because we have assigned 0 in the first row, and even second row is also we have assigned 0. Second row, third row, fourth row, and fifth row, we will get 5 lines, but it's wrong. Then even if it is 5 columns, we'll cross, but it's wrong. Is it possible with us to reduce that lines with the 4 lines? Yes, let me check. Okay, now if I go ahead with this 4th column, if I cross 1, of course it is everything is covering, right? In that maximum we have. Then again I'm taking which is 3rd row. Is it fine? So we got 2. Now leftover. See, if I go ahead like this, first one, fine. If I go ahead with the 3rd row, fine. Now leftover which is second column and first column. Okay, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll get 4 lines. We'll get possibility of reducing rather than going with the 5. We may get a 4 lines. Now how?
Yes,
Now
sir.
see, 4th column,
Fourth row.
3rd row.
Yeah.
Okay, now leftover only first column and second column. So I may take either maybe column wise itself. So how many lines we got? So
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So is there any possibility with the 3 lines? Check. Maybe you are not going to be get. So you have to check like that. Now suppose, let me check. Now I will go ahead with the first row and second row, then 3rd row. Then what about the 4th column and even 4th row? We may not get. So is there any possibility with the 3 lines? No. So you have to check like that. This is a procedure. If you did not understand, please ask me. If you did not understand, please ask me now.
Sir, after column reduction, instead of first assigning the zeros, we can do this, and after that we can assign the zeros, no, sir?
No. You cannot do like that because maybe who knows, maybe in the column reduction itself, you are going to be get assign 0 each and every cell. How come you know? So you should assign first. You need to check all possibilities. Then only you will came to know, right? Yes, we did not got assigned zeros in any one particular column or row. Procedure is simple. Row reduction, column reduction, then assignments. If you get each and every row 1 assigned 0, fine. So you will allocate, you will assign those and you will finally show the answer. But suppose if you did not get any 1 assigned 0 in any other column or row, then you are going to be working on this Hungarian method, going with the dotted lines, that too minimum. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Now listen, one more important thing. Dotted lines is at, which is 4th column, right? First column, second column, and the 3rd row. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now, without touching the dotted lines in that row reduction, leftover values, can you please tell me?
6, 15, 3.
So in the first row, which we have 8, 11.
8, 11.
In the second row, which we have 15, 3.
15, 3.
In the 3rd row, we don't have any value. In the 4th row, we have 2, 5. In the 5th row, we have 6, 8. Is it fine?
So,
Right. Now, without touching the lines, right? with the dotted lines, the leftover values, we got 8, 11, 15, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Out of this, which one is the minimum?
2.
2 is the minimum, right? So remember, so after drawing the minimum lines, which has to be touched with assign 0 and crossed zeros with the minimum lines. So first initially we have checked 5 lines, and after that is there any possibility with the 4 lines, and is there any possibility with the 3 lines, is there any possibility with the 2 lines, and is there any possibility with the 1 line? So you have to check like that. So we have checked 5. Yes. Is there any possibility with the 4 lines? We have checked. Then again we have checked even is there any possibility with 3? It could not be possible with us. So we concluded with the 4 lines itself. Then after that we have checked without touching the dotted lines, the without touching the dotted lines, the values which we have find out, then those values which is 8, 11, 15, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Right? So out of this, which one is a minimum? 2 is a minimum. Do you have any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Now, in the next table, so what you are going to be do, right? If the dotted line is only 1, so you will keep the same value as it is. If the dotted line is not there, then you will subtract with that value. So if the dotted line is a plus symbol, then you will add that value. 3 conditions. What are they?
We didn't get, sir.
Yeah, let me repeat. Now, if any one of you can please tell me. So I hope maybe you are working on your paper, right? Yes or no? Is there anyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Who is that? Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Soumya. Now see, I say to you, fourth column is dotted line. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And third row is also dotted line.
Yes, sir.
First column is also dotted line.
Yeah.
Second column is also dotted line. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
I say to you, remaining without touching dotted lines, which is 8, 11, 15, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So out of these, which one is the minimum?
2 is
2 is minimum. Okay, so identify that minimum value. Now listen, in the first column, first value 5, right?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So is it a dotted line is only 1 or crossing with the 2 dotted lines? Where it is crossing with the 2 dotted lines?
It is crossing here in the 3rd row and
Yeah,
4th.
Column, 3rd row.
yes, exactly. So first column 3rd row, second column 3rd row, and even 3rd row 4th column only the plus symbol is there, which is crossing 2 dotted lines. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if
sir.
that is the case, so you have to add the 2.
We have to add the minimum value where the lines are intersecting, sir. That
Yes,
is what-
exactly. So where the dotted lines are intersecting, in that point which you are adding that minimum value, this is first condition. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Second one, suppose if it is dotted line is only 1 without intersecting, then we are keeping same as it is, that same value itself. We are not doing any changes in that. Second one, are you getting?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Suppose if it is leftover value without touching, that value has to be subtract with that minimum value. 3 conditions.
Yes, sir.
So if it is dotted line is there, then we'll keep as it is the same value. If there is no dotted line on the value, then we'll subtract with that minimum value. If this dotted line is intersecting point, then with that value, then the minimum value which is going to be added. 3 conditions. Right? Hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Now my new table will look like this. Now any one of you can please tell me which one is the minimum value?
2.
2. Now first value is 5. Shall I change that or keep
No,
as
no.
it is?
No.
No.
Keep as-
So keep as it is 5. What about second value in the first row?
Same 0, sir.
Same 0 because only one dotted line. What about next one? First row, third column, 8.
10, sir. I think 10.
6, sir.
We have to subtract, right? Yeah.
Yes, 8 minus 2, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, then what about 10? Fourth column, first row.
Same 10, sir.
Same 10. Then what about last one?
11.
Yeah. 11 minus
2, 9.
9.
9. Hope you understand. Now what about second row?
0.
So I will tell very fastly. Listen carefully. 0, 6,
13.
13,
10.
10, 1.
1.
Now what about third one? Because it is
7.
intersecting 8 plus 2. It becomes
8 minus. Sir, it's minus,
That is
right?
5, no, sir.
if it is intersecting plus.
That is what I said. You just now said.
If it
Sir,
is
but the
both the lines is intersecting at third row, first column, then 8 plus 2, 10.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Then third row, second column is also dotted line is intersecting.
So it's 7.
Plus 2, 7.
Simple basic funda. If it is intersecting plus symbol, right? Yes or no? So you have to add. That's it. Okay. So if it is not intersecting with the any lines or there is no dotted line, then we are subtracting. Then if the any dotted line, will keep as it is the same value. That's it. Okay. Now next value
0.
0. Next value
2.
2 because it is intersecting. Next
0.
0. Good. Next fourth row
0. 0.
0. Next
4.
4. Okay. Next
0.
2 minus 2, 0 because there is no intersecting, there is no any dotted line over there. Then but whereas here is 0.
2.
0 is dotted line. So we'll keep as it is 0. Then next
3.
3. Okay. Last one
3.
3. Keep as it is. 5. Keep as it is.
4.
4 because there is no dotted line, we are subtracting. Next
0.
because it's dotted line, we'll keep as it is. Next
6.
because there is no dotted line, subtract with that. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So if you understand this, then you can do the same procedure repeatedly to get each and every row and column 1 assigned 0. If you did not understand, please ask me now itself. Do you have any questions? Anyone?
Sir,
Yeah.
once again, how to draw those dotted lines?
Yeah. Vani, listen. Dotted lines has to be touched with assigned zeros and cancel zeros.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So I think you are working on paper, right?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, we got assignment in the first row, second column, that is 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In the second row, first column is also 0.
Yes, sir.
In the third row, third column is 0 cancelled,
Yes, sir. Cancel.
and fourth 0 is also cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Fifth 0 is assigned.
Okay.
Then fourth row, first column value, in the fourth row, first column value is 0 cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Then the same fourth row, fourth column 0 is also cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Then the last row, fourth column 0 is assigned. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Now, so see, rule here, as per the Hungarian method, so when you are crossing the dotted lines, the dotted lines has to be touched with assigned zeros and cancel zeros. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now draw the lines, which is fourth column, because we have 3 zeros over there, right? In the fourth column, third row. Are you following?
Yes, sir. 3 zeros are there.
3 zeros, right? So draw the dotted lines over there.
Yes, sir.
Now draw dotted lines in the third row.
Yes, sir. Drawn.
Now first column, draw the dotted lines.
Yes, sir.
Second column also draw the dotted lines.
Yes, sir. Got it. Sir.
Now you check, is there any zero without touching this dotted line is left over in the table? Any zero which is assigned or cancelled without touching this dotted zero is left over?
Yes, sir. One.
Where is that?
Middle one.
Where is that? No,
Row
right?
mid. That is cancelled, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, okay, sir.
Now you got.
Yes, sir.
So when you are drawing dotted lines, the rule is that the dotted lines has to be touched with assigned zeros and cancelled zeros. If it is any leftover zero without touching or without crossing, then you did wrong. So you have to check that. And that too, this lines, right? If it is 5, right? 5 by 5 table. Okay.
Yes.
So you have to check, is there any possibility with the 5 lines? Is there any possibility with the 4 lines? Is there any possibility with the 3 lines? Is there any possibility with the 2 lines? Is there any possibility with the 1 line? Of course, if it is 5 by 5, maximum you are going to be get 3 or 4. That's it. Even if it is less than that, based on the problem, you have to work. Hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Vani.
Thank you.
Then
Yes,
next,
sir.
after that, the procedure, without touching the dotted lines, the leftover values which we have, check your table, which is 8, 11, 15, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
8, 11, 15, 3, 2, 5, 6, 8. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, out of these values, which one is the minimum value?
2, sir.
Yes. So you have to identify like that. That is the next step. Okay, first what we did, so we drawn dotted lines which is touching with the assigned cells and crossed cells, crossed zeros, right, with the minimum lines. Then after that we have checked which one is the minimum value without crossing the dotted lines, leftover values. So 2 is a minimum. Now listen, next one, right? So 3 conditions we have here. So if it is one dotted line, right? Now Vani, in the first column, first value, what is that?
5, sir.
Is it only one dotted line or intersecting point is there in that?
Dotted line.
One dotted line. So you have to keep as it is the same value.
Yes, sir.
Second one 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it one dotted line or maybe intersecting point is there in that? With the
One dotted line.
one dotted line. So you have to keep as it is. Then what about the third one?
No dotted line.
So you have to subtract with that minimum value, 8 minus 2.
6, sir.
Exactly. That is what we are doing now. Now check here in the third row and third column, 8 value. Is it intersecting dotted lines? Yes or no?
Yes,
One-
sir. Intersecting. We
So
have to
it is-
add 2.
Yes, that's it. 3 conditions. Hope you understand. Everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you understand this, then it is easy. So based on that, we did the second under one more table, right? Now again, you have to allocate here the any column or zero should be have one assigned zero. So how to assign that? Now suppose see, if I assign this first one, then remaining zeros should be cancelled in that row or column. There is no any one. Now if I assign in the second one, then it may be cancelled in the third row, right? Then if it is cancelled, then again you have to assign which is the third column, then the remaining one cancel. Then if you assign this last row, right, 0, then the remaining zeros cancel. So you have to work out like that. Okay, now let me do that like that. Suppose if I assign third row, third column 0, then the remaining 0 is cancelled. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then see, if I assign this third row, then will you get in the last column 0, is it assigned or cancelled? It should be cancelled, right?
Yes, sir.
If you cancel, then you are not going to be get any assigned 0. Yes?
Yes,
So
sir.
rather than assigning this third row and third column, I'm assigning third row and last column is one assigned 0. So can that what happen? Then we may cancel this third row and third column.
Yes, sir.
Then we can assign this fourth row and third column 0.
Yes, sir.
Then we can cancel in first column and fourth row first 0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we can assign in the second row and first column.
Yes, sir.
Then leftover zeros where?
Fifth row.
Fifth row. So we can assign this in the fourth column, and the above, which is in the fourth column and fourth row, that 0 should be cancelled. Now you check each and every row and column is only one assigned 0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is your final answer. That's it. Each and every row and column should be have only one assigned 0. So first row and the second column only one assigned 0. Second row, first column only one assigned 0. Then the third row, last column, which is only one assigned 0. Fourth row and the third column is only one assigned 0. Then the last row and the fourth column, which is only one assigned 0. That's it. You got the answer. Now, so A job has to be assigned to whom?
B, sir. Sorry.
A job has to be assigned to second employee.
2, sir.
Okay, so B job has to be assigned to
1.
1. Then C job has to be assigned to
D, sir. 4, sir. 5, sir.
5, fifth employee. Then D job
3.
has to be assigned to
3.
Third employee.
third employee. E
Fourth
job
employee.
has to be assigned to
4th employee.
fourth employee. That's it. Then you have to add values here in the main table which you have given, which they gave, which is 1, 2. What is that?
5.
Then B1,
3, sir.
C5,
12.
2,
D3,
7,
D3,
9, sir.
9. Then E4,
4.
4. Total 9 plus 4, 13, 13 plus 2, 15, 20.
3. 23.
That's it. You got the answer. So if they assign jobs like this, which they are going to be get cast 23. Do you have any questions?
No.
So if you understand this Hungarian procedure, then it is easy to you, and even you should know how you are going to be allocated before allocating. See, now listen carefully. Suppose I say to you, you have to check before allocating, because out of experience you will understand, right? So because out of my experience which I have without crossing, then directly I made it, because I analyzed if I cross this one, then I'm not going to be get. Now any one of you can please tell me, if I assign first one and second column, and even if I assign second column, right, and rather than assigning in the third one, if I assign third row and third column, what happens?
Then we'll not get the value in the 5th column.
Yes, then we are not going to be get in the fifth column. So you have to check like that. Don't go blindly. So when
This is a situation like Hungarian method is only applicable for 4 columns, 5 columns.
no, even any Same procedure, even if it's 3 into 3, 2 into 2, or maybe a 5 into 5, 6 into 5. This is a standard procedure in the assignment problem, irrespective of the table. If you get assignments, fine. If you did not get the assignments, then you are doing the same procedure, irrespective of any table. Are you getting? If you have any questions, please ask me.
They may give this 5 into 5 tables in the exam, sir.
They may give 7 by 7, 8 by 8. And even they may not give like this 1, 2, 3, 4 values. They may give 120, 130, 200, 400, and even 9, 7. So highest values, less than minimum values, like that. So use Calsys, and when you are calculating, it's easiest method. 14 marks. You know all these procedures. Definitely you are going to get one method. 14 marks you will get without any hesitation. There is no confusion at all. There is no any thing here. Only one thing, you should understand the logic. So what is that logic? In the assignment problem procedure, first you have to find out, first you need to do row reduction. So to do row reduction, each and every row you have to find out minimum value. Then if it is a minimum value, then subtract with the remaining values in that particular row. And the second row again, then the minimum value. Then the third row, again minimum value. Then if it is fourth row, again minimum value, subtract. Then you are going to get row reduction. Now before doing column reduction, you are checking any column, is there 0? If each and every column is 0, then as per our problem we got all zeros, so which is why column reduction I did not did. Then suppose if it is any one particular column you did not got 0, then you got any positive value over there, then again you have to do that row reduction. Then based on that which you are working on, each and every row and column one assign 0. Suppose if you did not get assigned 0, that case was erased here, then you are going to be work out on based on the Hungarian method, right? What it is going to be explained about that, you should cross the dotted lines, right? And the dotted lines has to be touched with the assigned zeros and the cancelled zeros and with the minimum lines. So you have to check, is it 5 lines, 4 lines, 3 lines, 2 lines and 1 line. So minimum, right? So we got here 4. Then the leftover values without touching the dotted lines we have checked, and in that the minimum value we identified, right? So 3 conditions again here. What is that first one? If it is dotted line is only touching only one line, then we'll keep as it is the same value. If the value is not touching any dotted lines, then we are going to be subtract with that value. If that dotted lines is intersecting in that particular position, then we are going to be add that minimum value. That's it. So if you remember this, so when you will remember this, so practice, repeat it, same procedure, repeat, take the same value and practice, take the same values and practice, rather than taking lines like this and change lines, check. Okay, clear? Then finally, which we are going to be assigned, each and every assignment, when you are doing assignment, each and every row and column should be have only one assigned 0. Okay, so which is why when you are doing assignments, so if you are practicing very well, then directly you are going to be use pen. But if you did not have a confidence, then use pencil. Second, that even if you get any wrong, then again you will cross and you will make it assignments. So out of experience we may say this one. Okay, so only one thing, it requires practice here. So if you practice, then only you are not going to get any doubts. And even when you are solving the problem, immediately you are going to get confused. Most of the students may get confused, right? Whether where which we are going to be add, or maybe subtract, or maybe a keep as it is. So remember the 3 conditions. Let me ask, if it is dotted line is only 1, what you are going to be do?
Put as it is.
Yeah, keep as it is the same value. So if there is no dotted line, what you are going to be do?
Subtract.
If the dotted lines is intersecting,
Addition.
add that value. That's it. Simple. Only tricky part in the assignment is this. That's it. The remaining is simple. But most of the students will do mistake identifying the minimum value. So by seeing the assignment problem, yes, I got 14 marks, fine, let me start. Then you will start very fastly. Then if it is a 4 and 5, then instead of taking 4, you will take 5. Then gone. One value, if you take wrong out of the minimum, then entire table will give a wrong answer to you. Once if you come out, then maybe your friends say another answer and you may say another answer, and the most of the guys says this is an answer, then you will identify after that. Instead of taking 4, you have taken 5. So don't do that mistake, which is why I say to you, repeat in the row reduction itself very carefully, because based on row reduction only we are doing column reduction, right? So if you do any mistakes here, then it reflect on column reduction. Then based on column reduction only we are working, so you will get entire wrong answer. So row reduction is the most important one when you are doing. Clear? Any questions? So with this, we'll stop here itself. Okay. So I will send 1 or 2 problems to you to practice. Let us see how many of you solve the problems. And before solving the problems, please check your time and mention that time also through WhatsApp. What time you started and what time you finished, and how much time it took to you to solve the problem. Is it fine?
Okay, sir.
So maximum it will take, even though if it is 7 by 7 or 8 by 8, it will take only 10 minutes time if you know the procedure. Maximum 10 minutes, that's it. Not more than that. Okay. So good day. We'll meet tomorrow. I will send after the session 1 problem to you. Let us see how many of you solve with the exact answer. We'll meet in the next class.